this is her hair. That's the back of her hair. There is her beautiful hair. And this is Shampoo.
Hey, do you want to join in? Come on. Come on. Come on. Hi guys, Future Ella here. Mommy forgot to do the intro for my hair video, so here I am. Today we are going to show you my hair routine. Enjoy the video.
Looks like. Did not silk pillow it or put her sleep cap on or anything like that. So this is her wallowing all over her bed. That's what her hair looks like. So this is the before. And I'm not going to show my face because I'm actually going to take a shower with her. But we're going to go take a shower. Okay. So first I used the Diva Curl Low Poo Delight. And then scrub her head with this thing because she complains about my nails, and this is really nice because it scrubs. I feel like she's getting a good scrub, but it's not scratching her or hurting her, and it seems to get product build up off of her head easier. Next we use the Diva Curl One Condition Delight, and so I shampoo her hair with this, and then I rinse it out real good, and then I put this in, and then I detangle her hair with this comb. I take whatever's left on my fingers and the comb and put it on the top of her head just a little bit, just to help detangle the top mainly. I will roll it up and put it in a bun and let it sit while I bathe her. Usually bathing her takes a good little 5 minutes, and then we can rinse it out, and then she gets out and we start styling, and that's where we will pick you guys back up again. Alright, so like you saw on her little YouTube magic clip, this is, I just put her hair in this little towel. It's called Tobu Twist. And it's just a microfiber towel. If you have curly hair, you can use a cotton t-shirt or a microfiber towel. She is probably a little too dry, honestly. I'm probably going to have to spray it with a little bit more water to put all of her product in. But we let it dry for a little longer because Mommy took a shower too. Yeah. So I am going to, it's not fancy, it's a spray bottle, but I'm going to spray her hair with a little bit of water because her hair dried for a little too long while I was putting my makeup on. Usually I put that Tobu Twist on her hair for about 5 minutes, maybe 10 at the most, and then I start fixing her hair because you don't want her hair, you don't want it to be dripping whenever you're putting the product in, because then it won't
work with you.
The hair will be full of water and it won't take in some of the product you're going to put in.
Roll it up and put product hair. Product build up.
She's so cute when she uses words, but she doesn't know what they mean. So, first, I've been using this since she was about, I don't know, like 1.5 when her first curl started showing up. It just keeps it from frizzing throughout the day. I used to just wet her hair, put this on it, and brush it, and that was all I did before I started doing our little routine thing this past year. But I put enough to have some on my hands, and I just rub it through. Really, it's different every time. It doesn't really matter this part. It just kind of feel your hair. Don't put too much in it, obviously. And just know your hair, because like, it's not really a good idea for me to use a whole lot of this stuff in my hair because it'll just stick to my head and get really weighed down.
Yeah, because you have curly hair.
Yeah. And make sure you get the avocado kinds. There are different smells and flavors and whatever. I don't know what they put in the avocado kind. Maybe it's the avocado, but it works much better than the other ones. I've tried using like the coconut flavored ones and stuff like that, but this one works so good. And it smells amazing, by the way. It smells very clean and fresh. And then I just take a wet brush we put that product in, and then after this we put in this one, the Diva Curl Super Cream Coconut Curl Styler. Some curly hair likes coconut, some curly hair doesn't. Hers seems to do fine with this. But I spray it with a little bit of water because it just seems to spread easier and not get so stuck to my hands, so I can actually get it in her hair. But I just run my fingers through her hair with this on it. A lot of curly people will tell you not to run your fingers through curly hair, and a lot of curly people don't use brushes at all. I don't know how they do that, but we do when it's wet. After I Denman brush it though, I try not to touch it again after that, unless it's like the scrunching motion. But you'll see the Denman brush in just a second. And then we come in after that and put in the Diva Curl Wave Maker. It says touchable texture whip. Just a little bit of this stuff. A little bit goes a long way. If you put too much, it weighs it down. So I put just a little squirt, and I also spray this down with water because it just seems to move better and not get stuck to my hands, and it comes off on her hair easier and not all in one spot. But I try to evenly distribute this through her hair, and you see that I start at like the mid shaft with all this stuff. I try not to put anything like on her roots because we don't want our roots stuck to our head. So we try not to put too much product up there.
Don't put on top of my head.
That's very true. You'll have product build up on your roots. So I used the Garnier Fructis as a leave-in conditioner, and then I brushed her hair with a wet brush. And then I came in with the Super Cream, the Diva Curl Super Cream Coconut Styler. And then after that, I put the Diva Curl Wave Maker Touchable Textured Whip in her hair. Then it'll take the Denman Brush. I take these little hair clips. They're just little hair clips. You can use whatever you have. But I take these little hair clips and I pull up her hair and section it a little bit. And I don't worry about her part. I can already see that it's kind of trying to clump together a little bit. I've got her hair in sections. I'm going to start with this bottom section and work my way up. But we are going to take her Denman brush, and you just, it's already starting to like clump together, and you can see pretty curls. This is actually a really pretty curl. But this one's not wet enough. You have to make sure that your hair is at least damp or wet for this part, because if not, then you're just going to make your curls frizz, because you never brush your hair after it's dry, ever. So, there's the first little curly.
It's cute.
It's cute. But we just go around her head, and I just brush like this. I do it a few times. I think you can just do it once, but I just have a thing about repeating myself a few times. I don't know. But, and it just makes little curl clumps. Her hair naturally starts to clump together anyway, so I try to just grab the curls that want to clump together and keep them clumped together while I'm brushing. And I'm sure there is like a more, if you're a hairdresser, you could probably tell somebody how to do this more. I just find the little clumps, I just follow her hair. And whatever pieces are already clumped together, I just brush them, and that's that. None of them are the same size chunk, hair chunk, or anything like that. And there are different types of Denman brushes that have like different amounts of rows, and apparently you can take some of these rows out if you want to. I don't know how that works. It seems to work just fine with all the rows in, just like I bought it, so that's what we've been working with. But I just, in whatever direction I feel like it needs to curl, I will do that. And then I will pick y'all up in just a minute, because this is going to take forever and I don't have enough SD card apparently to record all of this. But I will pick y'all up when I get closer to the top and show you how I do that part, because I do it a little different. We're back. So I am at the very top of her hair. I sectioned it off and just kept curling. And I just push them over here so that way I don't get the pieces that I've already brushed mixed in with the parts that I haven't brushed yet. But you can see her curls starting to form. You can see her curls starting to form and be more defined and curly. But anyway, we're at the top of her hair now. And what we're gonna do is, okay, so when we get to the top part, this is what I like to do. I like to, on the other ones you saw I was brushing it sideways, but on the top I like to get right up at the root and brush up. I just feel like
that's the way that it points.
Yeah, I feel like it helps her curls go different ways instead of the same way up at the top, and I feel like it helps get the top part off of her head. The top part likes to go straight on her head and then start curling here, and we want the curls to be up and then curly. We want them to come up and then curl. Otherwise they like stick to her head and then they're curly. So we are going to brush from about like right here. We like to brush up, and then it still does the same thing. It still makes her little curl clumps and all that. But it just helps get the root off of her hair. Off of her head, I mean. So that is what we're gonna do. And then we will catch you back in a minute. So now we are done with brushing her hair with the Denman Brush. And now it looks like this. We've got curly clumpies. And
Relax.
yep, they start way up here like we like.
And then they go down.
Yep. But and they're off of her hair and starting way up there. And now that we're done with the Denman Brush, again, before we did the Denman Brush, all we did was the Garnier Fructis, the Super Cream, and the Wave Maker. And then after we Denman Brush it, we take the Diva Curl Ultra Defining Gel and we put it on. And it says no crunch styler, but I'll show you and talk to you about that in just a minute. But so we just take this gel. First you just take a little bit, like about that much.
Yeah.
You will be replenishing it in a minute. But you take this and you spray it with water.
They like water.
I don't know where I got the spray with water from. I think my mom. Oops.
Yeah, you got
I
this
think my mom told them. I'm not sure why, but it seems to help. Lean her head back. I make her lean her head back, and I just scrunch in the gel. And she doesn't like this part.
No, I like it. It's just that my mixes.
But see, I'm already replenishing, putting some more gel in my hands. Same amount as last time. There's not an exact science to this part. I just do what feels right. And I'm spraying it with water again. I'm just gonna do it over the sink this time because I dripped a lot on the floor. Yeah. So lean to this side and way over. There you go. And see, she doesn't have a part yet. Because we want her curls to start to be all over and to get off of her head. And the only way that I have figured out to really do that, lean to this side, is to not part her hair before this part. And that's why when we did the Denman Brush, we did it straight up and we did chunks. So there was no part, it was just this chunk, and we brushed it straight up. And we will part it later if we think she needs a part. But usually it just kind of naturally parts itself after a while. And she just flips it around and lets it dry in different ways. And it seems to give her more volume. Don't touch. It seems to give her more volume whenever we don't make it dry in the same spot. Alright, now very gently flip yourself upside down. Your hair upside down. Don't touch, just very gently.
Oh my god.
Okay, she's upside down. I've replenished my gel again. And I'm gonna put a little bit more gel. Don't be afraid of the gel. It's not too heavy and it does not weigh down their curls. Obviously you don't want to just glop it on or goop it on or whatever word you want to use. But don't be afraid to put a bunch of gel on your hands and scrunch it in. I obviously don't put it on her roots. I just put it on the ends of her hair. I start from the bottom and scrunch up, and I end up touching all of her hair. I very gently flip back up. Oh, that was not very gentle. But you see already, just with the gel, her hair is already way more curly. And see, that's her usual part, and it just kind of naturally falls that way, but we're gonna flip it back and forth whenever we're blow drying it. But you can already tell that it's gonna be way curlier than when we started. So we're going to, next, we are going to actually flip her head this way again so we can make sure it doesn't stick to that part. Okay, just come back up normal. There we go. That way, a bit dry. Sometimes what I will do is let her hair dry flipped over there because her natural part is this way. So it'll dry this way, and then whenever her hair falls into its normal natural part, it goes back this way and it has more volume. It's not stuck to her head. But her hair kind of likes to stick to her head when I don't do anything to help that. So we are going to...
Oh my gosh, it's falling in my face.
Well, we got... There you go. I just want to make sure it doesn't go to its normal part. That's all.
Yeah.
So I will probably put just a little bit more gel because I just feel like it doesn't have quite enough. But normally I just do about 3 or 4 little dollops like I showed you before, and I just do a little when she's leaning to this side, a little when she leans to this side, a little when she leans back, and a little when she goes upside down. Look at you, you already know what to do.
Yeah.
So she's
I
leaning.
know the order. I know the order.
She knows the order. Well, we're not going to go that way this time. We just put a little... Nope. We're just going to stay this way for a second.
Oh.
And then we're gonna use the blow dryer, and we're gonna be upside down for a second. She hates the blow dryer part, but it makes a big difference when you diffuse your hair. It makes a huge difference. We could let it dry like this, and it could be okay and pretty, and as you can tell, most of the time that's what I do because I don't want to fight with her about the blow dryer. But because we're going on a fancy date and we're making a video, I'm going to show you all of it. Alright, now I want you to very gently turn this way and then turn your hair upside down. Very gently. There we go. Don't touch, Mommy will do it. Okay. So I do not have the blow dryer on yet. This is not a fancy blow dryer. This is just an Infinity Pro Conair Infinity Pro from Walmart. You don't need a fancy hair dryer. The important part is this part, and then it has lots of different sized holes and lots of holes. I will say that my mom has the Dyson hair dryer. I don't know the whole name, I just know that it's a Dyson hair dryer. It's amazing, and it dries her hair in about 4 minutes. I really don't know, but it dries it really, really fast. But I'm not spending $400 on a blow dryer because I don't use it that often, and I'm not spending $400 on a blow dryer for a 6-year-old. So we just, whenever we want to dry our hair fast, we just go to Nani's, right?
Yeah.
So I take it and I scrunch it up and stick it on her head. Go down so they can see. I stick it on her head and then I turn it on. And I turn it on. You can turn it on cool or warm, and then cool blast, so that way it's not too hot on her head. And heat's not good for curly hair anyway, so the less heat, the better. Do not turn it on full blast because it will blow too much air too quickly on their hair and make it frizzy. I do it on low. It seems to work better. But anyway, we just do it on low. You do it on warm or cool, and you anyway, you don't put it on full blast and you don't turn it on hot. You make sure it's on cool or warm, and don't turn it on until you've already scrunched it up and have it up on her roots. Because that friction of air blowing while you're trying to scrunch it makes it frizz. And I know that from experience because I've tried to take the easy way out and leave the blow dryer on and not turn it back off, and it's not a good sight. It may or may not look like we put our finger in a socket after that. So each little section, make sure I've done it at least once while she's upside down. So I just feel like it gives her more volume. Because she has a little curl that starts right at her little root. She's always had that curl, even when she didn't have super curly hair. Okay, so before I have her flip over, she hates being upside down, but before I have her flip over, after I've done at least once on each section of her hair, I then take the blow dryer and I just blow it. Oops, I didn't mean to turn it on. You keep it on low and just blow her roots without touching them. Just hover over them and get them to dry in the bottom part of her hair. So that way you're not over drying the ends trying to get the roots dry, because then that will make the ends really frizzy because they'll have too much friction and they'll get too much heat and too much friction and too much air blowing on them. So I just take it and like hover over her roots before I have her flip back over until they look like they're kind of dry, or at least getting there. Or at least as dry as the rest of the hair. Because a lot of the times, you know, the roots take the longest to dry. You can flip over, baby, very gently. There you go, very good job. So anyway, it takes the roots longer to dry than the ends, obviously, because the ends are what's touching the most of the blow dryer. So anyway, I just hover over her roots to dry them a little extra, so that way we're not over drying the ends and making them super frizzy because we've had too much air blowing on them for too long. But see the difference in the volume that makes? There's definitely more volume. It's definitely off of her head, and to me the curls look more defined when I've diffused them. Turn, Ellie. But see, they look much better, and that's just with the upside down. We also flip it to each side and flip her hair back, and we dry all around in all different ways, so that way her hair doesn't dry in the exact same way. Because if you dry it only upside down, then when you come up it just kind of sticks up too much, and if you dry only on one side, then the other side's too flat, and if you dry only with just the part and just dry both sides, it's still, anyway. She leans back like this, and then I scrunch it up and hold it up to her head. But we've already done that one. Now she's gonna turn this way so you can see, and she's gonna lean way over here. But you gotta do it this way. There we go. And then we just take this side and scrunch it up and get it up on top of her head. Let's go. Okay, now we've done this side. You flip it over to this side, and she flips it over. Even the part that's going to be over there comes over to this side, and she hangs her head way over, and then we do the same thing. We scrunch it up,
We
up
only
on
do
top
it
of her
2
head,
times, right?
and then we turn it on. So we now have dried all of her hair. For this part, you need to make sure that it's more dry. If you're done blow drying it, but it's not quite dry yet, sit around and let it finish air drying or something, but do not do this unless your hair is dry. Do you feel like your hair is dry, Ellie?
Yes.
Or does it feel kind of wet still? It feels dry to me.
Dry.
Okay, so kind of looks a little wet right now, and that's because it's crunchy because of the gel, which is fine. Don't panic if your hair looks super crunchy and like just wet or gross and crunchy like this. That is normal. It is supposed to. It has cast. It made a cast on your hair, which is good, which is gonna make it less frizzy and protect it. And all you have to do is scrunch out the crunch. This is Ella's favorite part because she likes to, what do you like to do?
Because I like to woo, woo, woo! Yeah, woo, woo!
She likes to scrunch out the crunch. So she leans way back, and I scrunch out the crunch back there, and then she leans to this side. Even all of these pieces, and I scrunch them.
I like this black. I wear it every time I go on a date.
She's very excited about her date with her daddy.
Yes, but then I get no crazy brother time.
Yeah, your crazy brother is crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, now he flips it. Now you flip it to this side. Doop. And then scrunch out the crunch on this side.
Scrunch, 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 scrunch.
Now the crunch is scrunched out. And she has beautiful curly hair. And it is all natural and beautiful. And for whatever reason, the curls that are under here always do so much better than the ones that show all the time. But she has some beautiful little ringlets. See them little ringlets? But yes, I am obsessed and in love with her hair. This routine never fails. There's never been a bad hair day as long as we follow this routine. It works great.
This is the best routine ever.
Yep. So now that her crunch is scrunched out, now that now we take this, it's called Hask or whatever you want to call Argan Oil by Morocco. I bought this at Walmart. I got it from a different YouTuber. I can't remember which one, but I got the idea from a different YouTuber because we were getting to this point and it was so beautiful, and then she would go outside and it would get frizzy. And it would make me so mad because I just did all this work to make it not frizzy. So this is an important step. So we take this after we've scrunched out the crunch, and I just do a few drops of it, and I rub it real good in my hands. And it just, like, you can't even hardly see it, but I can feel it. And it just coats my hands with an oil. And then I take her hair. Do not run your fingers through it. You see my fingers are not going through the curl, they're going around the curl. But I just very carefully rub it over the top of her curls. Do not put this on your roots. It will look like you haven't washed your hair in 2 weeks. But I just very gently rub it on the top.
Dramatically.
Very dramatically. Rub it on the top of her hair. I like to come in around her little face curls because they get the frizziest. I don't know if they do that for y'all, but they do for me. They get the frizziest, so I just like to take those little face curls and really make sure that I'm running through just the face curls really good, because these that come right off of her head, her little baby hairs, end up getting pretty frizzy.
Yeah, that we have to like curl it with our little fingers.
You see any curls that are like clumped together like this one? I was noticing this one was all together.
Can I wear my crown?
That's too many curls all in one section. You very gently try to separate them. The idea is to see that when they're wet and separate them when they're wet. But you can separate them when they're dry. Just be very careful and do it during this oil step where you're oiling it. But just make sure you get the ends really good, and sometimes I scrunch in. I'll get a little bit more of that oil on my hands and scrunch it just on the bottom where it tends to get the most frizzy, the very bottom of her curls. Probably because she touches them the most. And that's her hair. There's her hair. All nice and prettified. This is her curly hair after our whole routine. That's the back of her hair. And then here's the side. There's her curlies on this side. Now flip over.
Here's the other side.
And you see how her hair is just naturally kind of flipping wherever. And I think that looks the best whenever it's not quite like a hard part that's only in one spot. I think it's raining. That's gonna put a damper on your little park ice cream date, huh?
No.
Okay.
I'm bringing my Minnie Mouse umbrella.
Oh, you're gonna go play in the park in the rain?
Yeah, that would be fun.
I don't know if Daddy's gonna be all for that. But there is her beautiful hair, and you guys will probably see her on her date because she said she wants to take the camera and vlog their date. So She's gonna go on a daddy date. She wants to put just a little bit of lip gloss on and lipstick. And we fixed her hair and we'll brush her teeth before we put lip gloss on. And she's in her pretty little dress. And when she picked this out, she's had it on since like 8 o'clock this morning. And she has black high heel booties and she loves them. So she's gonna wear those and she's gonna wear this dress. And maybe we'll put the necklace on that matches these earrings and you will have a daddy-daughter date.
See you later, alligator. And you say it
after a while, crocodile.